Welcome to Crypto Be 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And as you all know, I am back on your screen, and this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show where we trade it and we do not gamble. As you all know, my name is Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, aka KC the Great. And on this show, you know what we normally do. We take a look at the market cap. We take what is going to be affecting the market. Also, we take a look at some news to get ourselves to the current news and know what is going on regarding Bitcoin, altcoins, meme coins, and the likes. Also, we're going to check the fear and greed at the end of the show to know what the sentiment really looks like. If you're just joining the show, this is Crypto Be 101. If you're just watching it for the first time, please subscribe, like, and share, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can be part of this greatness that is happening on this show every day. All right, without wasting your time, let's dive into the market. If you look at the screen right now, you'll see Bitcoin is recovering back from 107,000 US dollars that the market has dropped to from about our all-time high of 124. Is this the best time to buy? Is this the best time to get back into the market? We're going to discuss that on the show, so you do not want to go anywhere. But before we talk about the chart analysis, let's take a look at what the market cap looks like. And if you look at the market cap right now, you see I told you we are going to cross 4 trillion US dollars. About 4 trillion US dollars. Now we are at 3.8 trillion US dollars market cap. And you can see the trending coin we have, the official Trump. Ethereum, of course, has been trending, while Solana has now pushed back to $200. Also, let's check the top 10 coin. You can see BTC is still maintaining number 1 spot with market cap of 2.1 trillion US dollars, and Ethereum is still $500 billion US dollars. And we have Theta, the stable coin, at number 3, XRP at number 4, BNB at number 5, Solana at number 6, USDC at number 7, Lido Stake number 8, Dogecoin is at number 9, talking about meme coins, and Tron sitting at number 9. The likes of Cardano, Chainlink is doing well for some time now, but the likes of Cardano, Chainlink, Sui, Stellar, Bitcoin Cash, Avalanche are below top 10. So you need to stay tuned and get to know what coin you should be investing in this bull cycle that's almost over, or probably we are still at the middle and probably. Let's now check the news talking about the event that will be happening in the market. Now let's take a look at the market calendar, and if you look at the screen right now, don't worry, we're going to come back to the news. You see we do not really have important stuff to talk about today because it's all yellow, and whenever it's all yellow, it means there is no serious news because there is bank holiday in Canada, no good news coming out of United States also because we have bank holiday, but we have some news that are not that important coming out of Japan, Australia, China, Europe, and the likes. And that doesn't mean the market is not going to move or we're not going to react to that. All right, that's that on the market calendar, and we're going to see more of news or what we need to get back to during the week. And also you need to stick to the channel because we always talk about the event like CPI, interest rate, and monetary policy. We all know the news that will be rounding around the FOMC talking about the Fed chair that is going to cut rate come this September, but we're going to see that, and that's why the show is going to be interesting. But before we move to the chart analysis, or before we get to the news, there's one thing I want to share again, and this is that on this show now, we're going to be analyzing the chart based on 3 parts. Yes, based on 3 segments. It's going to be the Bitcoin, the altcoin, and the meme coins. Now we're not going to be touching all the coins so we can bring enough value to the viewer. What we're going to be doing is we're going to talk about Bitcoin, which is a major coin on its own. We're going to talk about altcoin and pick like 3 coins that we know move the altcoin, talking about Solana, Ethereum, and any other one, because once they move, other altcoins will follow. And we're going to choose some meme coin that we know that they dominate the meme coin segment, whereby, or sector, whereby when they move, other meme coins follow. So that's how we're going to do the chart analysis this time around. So we're not going to bombard ourselves with 30-20 chart analysis. We're going to bring value. It's not going to be about quantity, but it's going to be about quality this season. As you all know, it's 1st of September 2025 and it's spring day from the part of Africa that I'm situated right now, and everywhere is blossoming, and I believe our account should be doing that as well. All right, let's get back into the show. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the news first before we go to the chart to see. We can see that nothing is happening on the market regarding events of the day. So the market might be playing well according to the structure, according to the higher high and the higher lows. Just make sure you stay tuned to the chart analysis. I'm going to explain that to you. All right, without wasting our time, let's take a look at what the news is all about. The first thing that I'm going to share this morning is Metaplan hits 20,000 BTC mark with 112 million US dollars purchased. We all know Metaplan has been pushing to get BTC, acquire a lot of BTC, just like Strategy B, which is Michael Saylor's company too, has been acquiring BTC, and this came in yesterday, and let's see if that is going to affect the market, because as the market has been creating lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, everybody believes there will be a point whereby we're going to see a strong support and the market will shift back to the upside. But this is a great news for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at altcoin, and this is Ethereum. ETH staking FUD unfounded as staking entry queue surges. So we all know, if you look at the chart, Ethereum has been doing great and it has not been able to even break any structure, talking about a higher time frame. Weekly is still looking strong, even though we're seeing a kind of pullback, and we're going to discuss about that on the chart to know when or if you still need to stay in the market. More news regarding Ethereum, and you can see ETH recent gains in danger. Could we see another drop, which is true? Because if you look at the charts talking about ETH, let's take a look at ETH. If you look at ETH right now and look at the chart from a weekly time frame, you're going to see we had a massive pullback. You can see here is a massive pullback right there. But the good news about this thing is we failed to break the 4,000, which is the previous low that we created. So as long as we are below that spot, I think ETH is still going to move further. But can you say the same thing with Bitcoin? Can you say the same thing with Bitcoin, saying probably we are going to see if the Bitcoin is going to move about? No, you can see the chart is looking totally different when it comes to BTC. But don't worry, we're going to analyze the chart shortly after the news. All right, back to the news. Let's talk about another altcoin, which is XRP. Will XRP break $5? We all know XRP has done exceptional well, even though it has not gone back to the all-time high. But talking about a token that was at 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, now trading at $3, $4 and moving back. That's a good movement if you buy at the low. Just like Bitcoin, if the bull run decide to end right now, I think Bitcoin is done well from 15,000 to 120 something K. Do you see that? That's a lot of gains since we were on the low, and I feel if the bull run should end now, it's really done probably great returns for the investors. But there's this parabolic or super bull cycle everyone has been talking about. We're gonna see if we're gonna experience that. All right, let's take a look at meme coins news, and if you look at this, you can see SHIB, any surprise rally is possible. XRP expel, risks losing $2. Bitcoin bull market, is it over? You can see, like I said, is the bull market over? We all need to see and face what the chart, which is our fortune teller, is telling us. All right, let's take one more two news before we now move to the chart analysis. Pundit calls Bitcoin price crash below 93,000, reveals bear target from there. Yes, I'm going to point out where I feel like if we should break that zone, the possibility of bear market starting from there, it's 100%. And do not let anybody lie to you. Bitcoin has done exceptional well from 115,000 to 124K. That is done exceptional well. We all know every cycle of BTC is always times 3. And this has even done more than times 3. We could see the last time when the market dropped to no, the all-time high is always times 3. So you can see when 2017 we got a 20K drop back, 2021 we got to 60K, and now 2020 we are at, even though we are not times 3 yet, so probably we might reach 180 thereabout. But you should understand there's a lot of adoptions, institutions are now in the game. Then when we used to have times 3 is because we do not have institutions in the game. But now we have BlackRock buying, Grayscale, Fidelity, the likes of them accumulating, and we're seeing the inflow and outflow of ETFs through these investment companies. So you cannot say all cycle are going to be the same, because a lot of things are coming into the game, adoptions are coming into the game. Institutional native financial companies that don't believe in crypto before, they're now into the game. So if all these are happening, I bet you we might not see the kind of rally we've been seeing before. So if from 20K to 60K, and everybody is expecting from 60K to like 180 or 240, it might not happen. It might end multiplied by 2, because now we now have people that are putting big money and they're now big investors, and they might want to remove their money and put elsewhere, depends on the economy. But as we all know, Fed fund rate is going to come up September 17, and when that happens, that might just push the crypto market to a frenzy zone, and from there we're going to see it dump. But we're going to hit 240K, 180K. We just need to stick to the channel while we analyze the charts daily, weekly, and monthly to know where we're going and where we should get out of the market. All right, that's that on BTC. Let's take one more news, and we're now going to go into the charts analysis. And if you look at it now, ADA faces selling pressure, and if you notice, after when the Jackson Hole happened last week or last 2 weeks, when the Fed Chair Powell said or hinted there will be a possible rate cut, we saw the way some altcoin performed very well, and ADA SUI was part of them. But now they are facing selling pressure, and we're going to discuss that on the show this morning. All right, if you've not subscribed to the channel, you might want to do that right now. It's CryptoBin101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And also you can follow us on Twitter. It's still the same handle, CryptoBin101. You can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on TikTok, and also on Facebook, where we have all sort of nuggets that we drop for you on a daily. Like I said, the show is back, and this time around is back with strong information like never before. As you all know, Crypto 101 is all about giving you value, good tips about investment and trading in general. All right, let's dive into the chart analysis. And what are we going to start with? We are going to start with Bitcoin. We are going to start with what? With Bitcoin. If you look at BTC on a weekly right now, you see that it created a kind of structure that we've not seen in altcoin. You can see we have this structure. Let me bring it out. It created a kind of structure that break down there, but now we're failing to break it. Now at the pushback, now we're able to break it. So now what does this mean? This means that there's possibility BTC might start falling from here. I am not saying we're in a bear market, don't get me wrong. But one thing you need to know is we have the lows here, we have the lows there, and the low is been taken out. Remember, we created this low, then we push up to test the high, which is now giving us a kind of double top. Remember, if you take a look at the last bear market, when the market start falling down, you notice that we created something like this. Sorry, the chart is still loading. I wanted to show you we created a kind of something like that, giving us a double top, and now we pull down a little bit. But don't get me wrong, if this is going to be what we need to do, we need to make sure we look at the chart properly. So what I'll say is we have a double top right now, and we're going to wait if the market is going to break below this point. But what I'm looking at is no matter what happens, we should not break below 97,000 or 98,000, because that's what we're going to have a proper structure in the weekly that is pushing up. Even though this is a structure we need to pay an attention to, because with this being broken, I have a feeling the market might just pull back using Fibonacci to around 100 and something K, and then plummet down back to around this zone. Then if we're able to hold this zone, yes, then I'll know probably the market will push back on. But if we fail to hold it around there and we drop to 74,000 thereabout, I'm not going to lie to you, we are already in bear market. But right now, let's see if the 97,000 thereabout is going to hold, or we are going to move back and break above 124,000. I know that will happen when the interest rate is being announced. We all know everyone is optimistic we're going to cut, our Fed is going to cut the rate, but how are they going to cut it? With 50 basis point, 25 basis point or so, or thereabout? We do not know that yet, and I believe that will be what will determine how the market is going to move. But now, if you want to learn how to trade on a daily basis, not as an investor, you might want to check my Telegram channel, whereby you can join, and I give signal daily free of charge for you on how to trade all these things daily. But if you're an investor, BTC, for me right now, you need to get out of BTC and wait for a structure for us to even break above some zone before you get back in, because this market might start pulling down to around 97, and maybe that will be a perfect zone to get back inside the trade. Yes, we're seeing a green candle this week, but that doesn't mean you could move up 2-3 days and later push back down. So that's my own opinion regarding BTC. Let's now check ETH. We all know Ethereum is doing well. Ethereum, until we break 3,300, that's when I'll say ETH is going to drop back. But for the fact that we are still above 3,300, we are around 4,004, and we've not even broken a single candle, a weekly candle from ETH. That shows the buyers are still optimistic about ETH, and I think we should still hold on to our positions if you are an investor. Only if we create a structure with the next a week, 2 weeks before the FOMC, and we break the structure and we finish below the lows, that's when we can be scared. But right now, I feel like ETH is still a buy and is very strong compared to the Bitcoin chart that you can see even on a weekly candle. Bitcoin has already broken the weekly candle, now even created a structure and it has broken the structure. But ETH we still have a higher high, higher low, higher low, higher high. No higher low has been broken, no structure has been broken, and no weekly candle has even been broken as well. So with that being said, Ethereum is still looking very strong. We might just see some rally around this for a while till FOMC, maybe between these 4,400 or 440 something to this 4,007. The market might be moving up and down till we're gonna see a drop, or we're gonna see a structure, or we're gonna see altcoin season coming in and the market is gonna go parabolic. We spoke about ADA in the news. Let's take a look at ADA news. You can see when I told you after the Jackson Hole, ADA gained some momentum and the market shoot up from 0.70 thereabout to about $1. But now it's facing a selling pressure. But I'm gonna tell you, we have not taken out the lows that needs to make us to be skeptical about ADA or feel like we should stop buying it or trading it. Because if you look at it, let's take a look at here. This is the low. Until we go below that, or we even break the weekly candle itself, now we can be thinking of, okay, probably it is falling. But right now, I just feel this is a pullback, and we might pull down to around 0.6, 0.7 again to have the market push up back. We all know if Ethereum is falling, possibility of other altcoin should be falling, and we saw Ethereum has been dropping for some time. So now is either a sell. Now if you've been holding ADA, let's say from around 0.5 or 0.6, you can still hold on to it until we break 0.68. That's when I can say, okay, you can get out of here. And if you even look at the chart, you're gonna see the market is moving nicely. You can see high, we have another high, so possibly we're going to pull down here, then maybe we're going to shoot up and break the all-time high. But we're going to be discussing about everything on this show every day of the week, so you need to make sure you stick to the channel and get to know. Now we spoke about XRP as well. Let's take a look at XRP chart. You can see XRP2 gain momentum after we had the Jackson Hole stuff, and from then he's been maintaining the rally, just a little bit pushback. But if you look at XRP chart is a little bit different. Why is it different? Is because XRP has now created a structure. Number one, it has broken a weekly candle. Number two, it has created a structure and it has broken the structure. So what we're going to see with XRP now is if this weekly candle is going to finish red, and next week, the moment we are breaking it, that means possibility of XRP dropping back down to $2 and thereabout, as I said on the news, will be accurate. But right now, we still need this candle. You can see we still need this green candle that broke the structure to be broken itself, because that's when you're going to have confirmation that, okay, this sell is active. But for now, we can just hold on and see if we're going to have a pullback before we're going to fall back. And like I told you, XRP is done well for a coin that was trading around 0.10 cent, 20 cents just by the end of the year last year. Now trading at about 3.5. That is a lot of gain. Even though you measure it up, it has done, if you measure it up, it has done about 1,000%, close to, see, 840%. Tell me, for an altcoin like XRP. I know people are expecting expecting the project to do more, but what I'm saying is, if the bull run is over right now, XRP is done well, Solana is done well. ADA, will I say ADA is done well? Let's take a look at ADA. No, ADA has not performed very well. Let's see Avalanche. Avalanche too has not performed very well. But Solana, XRP, Ethereum, they've done exceptional well. All right, let's take a look at SUI. What did we talk about on the news? We talk about the Ethereum, XRP, and ADA. So that's what we're gonna. I told you that's what we're gonna be doing. So that's that. Now let's move to meme coin. And on meme coin, we're gonna take a look at Dogecoin, because Dogecoin is like the father of meme coin. And if you look at Dogecoin, even Dogecoin has done a little bit better, but not like the all-time high. Let me go to monthly candle, and you're gonna see Dogecoin was about some cents then in 2021, you can see in June, but now it has gone back there recently, talking about December, before falling away, which December 2024 is still part of the bull cycle. So now Dogecoin is done well, but they've not performed exceptional well the way we expect what will I call it, meme coins should perform. So what are we expecting? We're expecting meme coins. I think if you guys should ask me, talking about altcoin, I don't think we're gonna see something crazy again, because the year is over, and we know by the time we move to next year, we should be expecting the market should start falling to go into bear market for a couple of years before we're gonna see the rally again. Yes, maybe after the FOMC news, that's when we're gonna be seeing altcoin and meme coin going crazy. So you need to keep your fingers crossed until September 17 to see if we're gonna see altcoin moving. So what altcoin should we be looking at? I'm not gonna lie to you. We need to look at altcoins that have not done well. And if you look at this, Shiba Inu has not done well. So Shiba Inu should be among what you need to have in your portfolio. Dogecoin has done well, but it has pulled back. But let's take a look at Pepe. Pepe too has done well, but it has pulled back. So we can look at Pepe. Trump coin, when it launched, did exceptional well, but it has fallen to nothing. So I feel like you should have some of Trump coin in your portfolio. Also, let's take a look at Dogs. No, let's take a look at Notcoin. Notcoin too, they've not done well. And let's take a look at there's this coin I want to talk about, Ton. When it comes to altcoin, sorry, let me go back to altcoin. Ton coin is another coin. We'll talk about some 10 coins or good coins we need to have in our portfolio. It's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, of course, XRP, SUI, ADA, that's Cardona, Chainlink, Shiba Inu, Pepe, Dogecoin, Toncoin. I think those are coins you need to have, because most of them have not done exceptional well. So when the news break September 17 and they're going to pump, I believe we're going to see massive pump from them, and you can make more gain compared to other coins that they've already pumped and now waiting for super rally to happen. Even though the super rally comes into existence, they might not pump more than maybe times 2, times 3, compared to this one that can do 10x, 20x, 30x, or even 100x. So that's on the chart analysis regarding the Bitcoin, altcoin, and meme coins, and we're going to be choosing like that on the show every day. All right, without wasting our time, let's check what the sentiment looks like. And if you look at the screen right now, you see the market is now sitting at fear, and you know when it's at extreme fear, that's where you should start accumulating. Now it's sitting at fear, you still need to be accumulating, and I know a lot of people are scared of this because of the news that are coming up in September 17. Yesterday was neutral, last week was neutral, and last month was green, and you can see that's why we saw the market plummet down to where it is right now. All right, that's what I have for you on the show this morning. Remember, this is Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble it. Remember, you are watching Crypto Be 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. If you've not subscribed to the channel, you might want to do that right now. Subscribe, like, and share, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can be part of the greatness happening on this show. Also, you can follow us on X, you can follow us on Instagram, you can follow us on TikTok, and as well you can follow us on Facebook to get more of this nugget that will be dropping for you every day. All right, my name still remains the same, Ahmed Oladimeji Kazim, aka KC the Great. Until I catch you tomorrow on another wonderful episode of the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble it. Peace out.